know, we do have some of the filmmakers and actors from this block in the audience, so why don't you guys come on up for Q&A.
No, not shy.
No, I know these guys, not shy at all. Yeah, listen,
Is it just Tanner?
well, yeah.
But why don't you co-writer, co-producer, why don't you come on up too?
Sure. All right, so we will go down the line here. Why don't you introduce yourselves and movie you are with?
Oh,
We are all with Cameo.
I'm the actor in Cameo.
Director of Cameo?
Writer, producer of Cameo.
You guys have names, or are your names?
Just calling that.
Emily?
Ryan?
Sarah.
Okay, so I will start. Ryan, just tell us the inspiration for the film. It's kind of a unique story, so I'm just curious where the idea came from.
A couple years ago when I really started getting into horror, I wanted to do a deep dive on everything, and in the process found this classic horror writer, M.R. James, who basically everything in his stories revolves around cursed objects. And I'm like, that's a cool idea. Maybe we could bring that kind of into the 21st century. And I felt like it was a great thing to revolve a low-budget film around. And then in the writing with M, we decided a necklace, and then it was a Cameo necklace, and then we just kind of built the story together. We really wanted to capture like a feeling of like anxiety and dread, and really anxiety, dread. And yeah, that was like the impetus, and then it just sort of took on a life of its own from there.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, I'm going to turn it over to the audience for questions. Emily, please. Yeah, and back there.
Where did the necklace come from?
That's a great story.
Oh, there's a
Good question.
No one asks
You
that.
win a prize, I just don't know what it is.
So when we decided on a Cameo necklace, I was mentioning it to my darling mother, and a couple weeks later, she's like, "Guess what I found that belonged to you, her mother, my grandmother, a Cameo necklace so that object is a true family heirloom," and it was a little terrifying to find.
Over 100 years old.
Yeah, so it is a character unto itself, so it was important to find the right one, and it was right in my family collection, apparently.
That's cool.
Did you have that? Okay. Yeah, we did break it. I gotta take it to a jeweler one of these days.
Oh boy. You are not invited to any family Thanksgivings anymore.
Well, that's been the case for quite some time. Bit of a troublemaker, you know.
All right, Tom, I think you had a question. Stop canoodling with
Sorry.
me.
I'm sorry. So, Ryan, we had spoke earlier, full disclosure, about this film being basically a pilot for a larger concept that you've got going. You want to tell us about the larger picture that this film kind of introduces?
Oh yeah, it was in the writing of it where we're like, is there a feature idea like in here?
Yeah. We can never do it this way. Next time we're going to think of the feature idea and then condense it into a short. This one we thought of the short idea and it's blown up into a feature, which is.
So yeah, we're in the writing of that, and yeah, trying to get the script in front of as many people as we can, and yeah, we're calling it the third draft of the feature, but it's really like the seventh, as I mentioned to you earlier. It's that's its own beast for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're trying really hard to get the short out there.
So what's the overall concept of the film? I mean, we kind of see that Sarah seems to be somewhat possessed, like when she puts on this necklace. And what's the larger story that we're going to explore here?
Oh, you'll have to wait, I guess. But, you know, we definitely want to flesh out the mythology of the necklace, of the witches a little bit, and in the feature, her character has a kid sister, which kind of helps move things along, because we felt in the writing like 90 or 100 minutes of just someone getting possessed, like, is a little thin, I guess. So we wanted
Like
to
The
give...
Exorcist, it was just
There are other characters, sure, exactly.
fiddly.
Yeah, imagine The Exorcist with just the kid scene with the kids, right? Like, it just doesn't work. So we wanted to give her a kid sister, we wanted to flesh out the mythology of, you know, the witches and the necklace and show all that stuff. So it's been fun to try to fill in. It's been fun to, I guess, look at the short and then try to like fill in the gaps, basically.
We're also trying to introduce local mythology too.
Great.
So yeah, so when as we're writing the feature, we're trying to introduce elements of like weird New Jersey and stuff. Like there's a lot of it that is set actually in the Pine Barrens and trying to introduce some like creepy elements there. So trying to lean into the local elements for sure.
Cool.
You'll run into Chris and Polly and stuff.
Very cool. Any other questions from the audience? Yes, sir?
Yes, the character was promised immortality, and it can kind of be inferred immortality through the son's death, but I don't know if it can be expounded upon further. Maybe that's like a piece of more.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like yeah, what the immortality means.
Yeah. I've been waiting.
I don't know.
But yeah, exactly. Expounding on what the nature of that immortality is. Yeah. But you have to die to achieve it, so that's the kind of that's the catch.
Okay.
Anyone else? Yes, sir?
I'm just curious, a lot of the films look, no offense to anybody making it, God bless everyone makes it, short films, but to have a really good professional machine looks like it's perfect. How much, like, what did you use, what camera did you use, what?
Oh, this is always a fun answer because about 85% of that movie is shot on an iPhone. So people said we were crazy. I thought it was crazy at times. I almost kind of welched at the 11th hour. But I decided, me and my DP who I've known since film school, we just said, you know what, we want to give ourselves this limitation. We want to really see what we can do with it. And yeah, it was, I'd never do it again.
The second camera was a Sony A7S, so not exactly, an Alexa.
Yeah, because there was just, the stuff where it's dark, it was too hard. I mean, I can't think of another way to say it. It was just too hard. So yeah, and it was just trying to use the tool intelligently. It does have its limitations also, but it also has a look. So we were just trying to lean into the strengths it offered and also the flexibility it offered. You can throw this on, some of that stuff was shot on a selfie stick. Yeah, no, it was fun to work with. It was. I just felt like we could do it. We came from Brooklyn College, a very, very technical program. We learned to shoot on film, actually.
Brooklyn College.
So, all right, we got an alum. So we learned to shoot on film, so we kind of have a very rigorous technical background.
All right, any other questions from the audience? Because I have one for Sarah.
Please.
Yes.
No. So I always ask this question, especially for characters and scenes like this. As an actress, how do you get yourself into that headspace to kind of, display that kind of tension and emotion, and then how do you get back out of it?
Oh, you don't get back out of it. That's fine.
Okay. Stay away.
So Ryan, I never would have thought, I didn't even know it existed, but there's someone who created an audio of what it sounds like someone to go, what schizophrenia is like. And so the entire day of the breakdown scene, I basically just had my earbuds in, listening to it on loop all day long. I was listening to it hours before, all day long. And anytime I had a break, and I would just sit in a corner and listen to it over and over and over and over again. I also didn't eat anything and drink a lot of coffee, which helps with the shaking. So that was just a cheat. but no, it was it's also just just kind of really I suffer from anxiety a lot, so it was just really easy to tap into anyway. But just hearing the voices nonstop, and then you're into it, and it's good group, when all of the groups that we work with all the time, it's really dark material, but you're laughing on set, and you're this was the first time that I just completely stepped away. I wasn't giggling, I wasn't goofing off, which is crazy, right? I'm a nutso.
I don't believe it. Who are you?
I know. But yeah, that was kind of just shaking that off took at least a couple of days, so.
Cool.
It was hard to watch. I have to do it.
There's a couple of issues that I was just looking.
Permanently.
Yeah.
So my second question is, did Ryan give your hair its own trailer on set? I always have to make a comment about Sarah's
You notice
amazing
how it was
hair.
totally pulled back, so
Yeah.
there was no issues to where Sarah, it's all hair. It's this is what it
It is. All right, any other questions? All right, how about another hand for the cast and crew of Cameo? Great stuff, guys.